The name Rolex is synonymous throughout the world with luxury, but within the world of watch manufacturers and enthusiasts, the iconic Swiss watch brand is known for its technological innovations and marketing genius. Exploring the 116-year history of the Rolex company to uncover innovation after innovation in marketing and precision engineering that revolutionized not just the watch industry, but also the world. From hitching a ride aboard the first submarine to reach the bottoms of the Mariana Trench to the introduction of the first automatic winding wristwatch, here is the story of Rolex. What is Rolex? Rolex holds a special place in the world of high-end mechanical watches. It's the most valuable luxury watch brand in the world. Rolex is also one of the most expensive watch brands. The Swiss manufacturer produces iconic models that have become a true status symbol. Owning a contemporary Rolex day-date or a vintage Submariner, for example, tells a lot about who you are and what you've accomplished in your life. What makes Rolex so special? The quality of its designs, the rarity of its materials, and most importantly, the brand's impeccable production process that guarantees precise and accurate performances. How did Rolex start? The history of Rolex is inextricably linked to the visionary spirit of Hans Wilsdorf, its founder. In 1905, at the age of 24, Hans Wilsdorf founded a company in London specializing in the distribution of timepieces. He began to dream of a watch worn on the wrist. Wristwatches were not very precise at the time, but Hans Wilsdorf foresaw that they could become not only elegant, but also reliable. To convince the public of the reliability of his resolutely innovative timepieces, he equipped them with small, very precise movements manufactured by a Swiss watchmaking company in Bayern. Who invented it? Rolex is a British-founded Swiss watch designer and manufacturer based in Geneva, Switzerland, founded in 1905 as Wilsdorf and Davis by Hans Wilsdorf and Alfred Davis in London. The company registered the word Rolex as the brand name of its watches in 1908, and it became Rolex Watch Company Limited in 1915. Growth of the business. Rolex's strategies to create brand recognition have gone hand in hand with its innovative launches since the beginning. Wilsdorf rightly understood the momentum it would gain if it partnered with the world's most popular sports or expedition projects at the time. In 1926, Rolex was the first to introduce a waterproof and dust-proof watch to the world in its Oyster collection. To substantiate its claim, the very next year, they partnered with the British swimmer Mercedes Glaetz. She crossed the English Channel wearing the Rolex and emerged with it in perfect working condition. It created quite a buzz at the time, earning the front page news in Daily Mail. This ended up garnering attention to the brand's credibility from wide across the world. It was also a landmark moment in branding and advertising history, as Wilsdorf popularized the concept of a testimonial with this feat. In the 1930s, Rolex was used by the mountaineers in the Mount Everest expedition. Once again, coming out unscathed was a reaffirmation of superior quality that withstands the harsh weather conditions. In the very same year, the Rolex Oyster Perpetual Explorer was launched. With decades passing, Rolex has always associated itself with the most historic events and admired personalities of the time. This includes a wide array of them, including deep-sea explorations, golf, Formula One, tennis championships, horse racing, several art and cultural events, etc. Think of the coolest event in any era, and there it was. The Rolex crown of gold on green splashed across them. In addition to establishing their presence through a great many advertisements and sponsorships, Rolex's messaging also plays a significant role in affirming its positioning. Rolex presents itself as a must-have for occasions that recognize landmark accomplishment. It does not showcase itself as a product, but as a celebratory symbol of achievements and excellence. Rolex's advertisements don't rattle off the technical details or emphasize how superior it is from its competitors. It shows that it does not want to be taken just as a watch, but as a reward for success. The campaigns include messages like "Every Rolex tells a story," "A crown for every achievement." It doesn't just tell time, it tells history. They address the emotional touch points of their target audience, thereby creating a surge of desire to own one. Here are some facts about Rolex. The first waterproof wrist watch was created by Rolex. While other watchmakers lay claim to creating the first diving watches, it was Rolex who came up with the first fully waterproof watch in 1926. The Rolex Oyster was also dustproof, with both screw-down case back and crown lined with rubber. Today, the term Oyster still identifies waterproofness among Rolex models, including the Day-Date and Daytona. In 1927, English Mercedes Glaetz made an attempt to swim the English Channel and was gifted a Rolex Oyster to do it. She wore it round her neck, and when she got into trouble, icy cold and half-conscious at 10 hours in, the inside of her Rolex was as dry as a bone. Every watch is handmade. Watches are all handmade despite rolling out thousands each year. Each one is pressure tested to ensure they meet high standards. Some watches take as long as a year to get to retailers. Each watch goes through 15 days and nights of testing to ensure precision and accuracy. Rolex is a charity. Rolex is currently owned by the Hans Wilsdorf Foundation, which funds the largest scholarship endowment in Europe. Rolex is not owned by an individual, and so the trustees of the foundation oversee how profits are distributed. According to Swiss law, the brand is not obligated to declare whether anyone has ever received a donation. They also receive major tax cuts due to being a charity. Most notable models. Rolex Submariner. The Rolex Submariner is the archetypal diver's watch, a symbol of underwater discovery and conquest. First released in 1953, the original Submariner was waterproof to 330 feet, a record at its time. Recognizable for its distinctive dial, the large luminescent hour markers align it to underwater conditions. With its graduated rotatable serre-acrim bezel and oyster bracelet, the Submariner boasts an iconic design, making it one of the most recognizable and desirable Rolex models to this day. Rolex Daytona. The highly accurate Rolex Daytona is a chronograph designed to meet the precise demands of professional racing drivers. The Swiss chronograph enables drivers to measure average speeds up to 400 kilometers or miles per hour. Released in 1963, the Rolex Daytona is intimately linked to the world of high-performance motorsport. It also shares strong associations with Hollywood star Paul Newman, a successful racer himself, who wore his Rolex Cosmograph Daytona every day for 15 years. Rolex Datejust. The Rolex Datejust is a timeless classic watch whose design and function transcends changes in fashion. Released in 1945, the Datejust was the first wristwatch to feature an automatic changing date function, magnified by a distinctive bubble over the date display. In style, function, and mechanics, the Rolex Datejust has been the benchmark and inspiration for many a timepiece. It is the Datejust itself, however, which remains the archetype, widely recognized and appreciated for its seminal role in horological history. Rolex Milgauss. The Rolex Milgauss is designed to withstand the strength of magnetic fields that scientists are exposed to during the course of their work. While the accuracy and reliability of most watches are affected by a magnetic field of 50 to 100 Gauss, the Milgauss, created by Rolex in 1956, is resistant up to 1000 Gauss. The Milgauss is especially recognizable by the orange electricity bolt that forms its second hand. In 2007, Rolex released a scratch-proof crystal of green sapphire, exclusive to the Milgauss, providing the crystal with the distinctive green tint. The long history of Rolex producing creative and attractive watch designs marks a brand reputation that is unbreakable. So that's it for today. If you like this video, then please hit the like and subscribe button for more videos. Thanks for watching.